After having left the hospital, to make sure you don't have any life-threatening injuries at that particular time, you're going to go and see a person, a doctor, a medical doctor who's trained on looking for and caring for injuries related to motor vehicle traumas. Start from your head and go to your toes, walking through each piece that you have symptoms, pain, or complaints about with your doctor. You need to make sure that all of these things are well documented by that physician so that it can be used in your personal injury claim against the insurance company. Starting with your head injuries are very common in car collisions and other motor vehicle crashes. You can receive a head injury, a concussion, or what is also referred to as a mild traumatic brain injury, even without contacting your head. The acceleration, deceleration forces are sufficient and have been documented by biomechanical engineers and neurologists to cause concussions and mild traumatic brain injuries. The typical symptoms that one would experience from this type of an injury would be loss of short-term memory, having to make lists, forgetting where you're supposed to go, forgetting your keys, your groceries, simple things like that, which you may just discount as you being confused, are actually signs that you have suffered a concussion or a mild traumatic brain injury. Other things that are common are anxiety, dizziness, balance problems, nauseousness, ringing in the ears. If you have any of these symptoms, be sure to write it on your initial intake form when you go to see your primary care physician that is going to be caring for your injuries that you sustained in the motor vehicle collision. The next area is the neck and the jaw. These are two totally separate potential injuries. The jaw is a joint on each side, just like you have in your shoulder, your elbow, or your knee. These joints, through an acceleration, deceleration injury, can tear the ligaments and damage the cartilage on either side or both sides of your mouth. In the event that you've sustained this type of injury, those are only cured typically through surgery. If you have popping and clicking when you're opening and closing your mouth, you have a lot of soreness, or you're getting severe headaches, those headaches can be caused from either the head injury, a jaw injury, or a neck injury. Be sure to make note of every single symptom that you're having on your initial intake form. Neck injuries are the most common in car collisions because your neck is making the most amount of movement in a collision. Your head, being a 10-pound ball on top of your spine, is getting thrown in the direction of the collision. It's a front-end collision, it's being thrown forward. A rear-end collision, it's being thrown backward. A side impact, your head's being thrown to the side. And then it is snapping back in the other direction. So through that mechanism of injury, you can sustain herniated discs. These are the soft disc spaces between each of your vertebrae and your neck. Those herniated discs can press on nerves or your spinal cord, often referred to as a pinched nerve or nerve impingement, and that's what will radiate pain. You'll typically see pain not only localized in the neck, but oftentimes people have shooting pain down either their left or their right arm or both arms. It can come and go in its severity. It can increase and decrease during the course of the day, depending on what you do in your activities. But that condition oftentimes is only remedied in the future by surgery. You can also have ligament damage. Oftentimes those ligaments that are torn or destroyed, which do not grow back, are not shown up completely on an MRI. However, MRIs are very important to have because they do document objectively the anatomical changes that have occurred in various parts of your body, including your neck, which can then be used with the insurance company to demonstrate a particular injury. The next thing you want to do is check your shoulders, range of motion. Do you have restricted range of motion when you move your arms? Is there pain? Can you lift your arms up above your head the same way that you were able to before the crash? If not, those are areas that you need to document and tell your physician about so that he can check them out and make sure you're okay, or prescribe a treatment plan to try to get you back to the condition that you were before the car collision. Then you would go to your mid-back. Do you have pain in your mid-back? And then your low back. The low back pain can often be localized in the low back, or it can be a shooting pain down your left or your right leg, or both. You can have numbness and tingling in your feet, and those are the nerves that are being impinged in your low back that are sending a message to your brain that it's shooting pain down one or both of your legs. Then you would move down to your knees. Did your knees hit anything inside the car? It could be the dashboard, it could be the door or a console in the middle of your car. Did your knees hit anything? Are they sore when you squat down? Do you have full range of motion without pain? Is there popping and clicking, grinding, anything of that nature when you're walking or squatting down? If there is, you need to bring that to the attention of your medical doctor. All of these injuries need to be documented from head to toe in your very first visit. If they're not documented in the very first visit, then when you start to realize that these pains and aches are not going to go away in the future, which could be 2 months, 3 months, 6 months later, if that's the first time that you've told the physician, it will be the first time he's documented it in his file. And the insurance company will use that as an opportunity to try and say that you didn't report it immediately and initially when you saw your physician, and therefore that injury is not related to the crash, and they don't want to pay any money for it.